It's so good to be together with you. It's just Jerry and myself here today.
Hey everyone.
We are so grateful for our band and our AV, our baristas, our Sunday school teachers who are usually here with us every Sunday morning doing this. And we just want to say hello to all of our Gather family. It's so good to see you. And to anyone watching for the first time, we're just so happy that you're here.
We know that this has been a trying time and many confusions, a lot of challenges in our own lives, trying to figure out where we take our next step and where we should turn. We're trying to figure out how to stock up our houses and have plenty of things to do while we're in our home with our loved ones. And while that can be a really beautiful time, it's also, let's face it, a little challenging. And we just want to have this as a word of encouragement. We want to let you know that God is still in control. God is still in our lives. God is still present and wanting to connect with you. So today we're just going to worship God. We're going to connect with God. We're going to connect our hearts to that divine energy to empower us for this coming week. Give us strength, give us some confidence and some encouragement. So we hope that this video can be encouraging to you. Thanks so much for joining us. Where two or more are gathered, He will be here. So let's start off with a song reminding us about home, the place we're creating, the place that we're living in, and our hopes and dreams.
So whether you're in your pajamas on the couch or in your Sunday best, let's join together in the song Home by Philip Phillips. Hold on to me as we go, as we roll down this unfamiliar road. Although this way is stringing us along, just know you're not alone. I'm gonna make this place your home. Settle down and I'll be clear. Don't pay no mind to the demons, they fail you and so much for joining us in that song, Home. And we're going to get ready to hear a message this morning by Jario.
Greetings, brothers and sisters. I'm glad to be here together with you today. And I know that this has been a challenging time. But that song really reminds us, it's how I see it, a song from God saying, settle down, don't worry. It'll be okay. It'll be made clear that I am with you. And when we invite God into our houses, into our shelters, it changes from being just a place of four walls into a true home. A place where we can settle, a place where we can find joy, where we can find sanctuary, where we can find rest, and also stimulation, creativity, love, and joy, and laughter. This is what God is trying to build into our lives. And although it looks really chaotic right now, and we look around at this world and we go, wow, this virus is wiping out so many things that we've become comfortable with. So many things that have given us control. So many things that have given us security. And it's okay. We're scared. We're unsure. We don't know our next step. We don't know our next week. Some of us are constantly looking up updates. What is the president saying right now? What is being said right now? What is being conveyed right now about God's love? We're looking for what the next step is, what the next update is. And some of us are challenged with that. And it's okay to be challenged. Now, for me, I always thought the things that I would fear the most would be, some kind of just a financial breakdown. That's scary, right? And we are kind of in that situation. Or maybe it would be a virus. Or maybe something that would really be challenging to me would be taking on a new company. Or what would be a great fear or challenge to me would be some person in my life, right? Or maybe it would be a hurricane, right? It's the terror and the fear of a storm or a bear attacking us. We thought these things would be our fears. We never expected that one of our greatest fears would be hearing that schools are closed and that we're going to be locked in with our own children. But here we are. And we're locked together in our families. We're locked together with those that we live with. And normally, we have an escape. We have somewhere to go, somewhere to pass the time, maybe some entertainment, something to distract us from time to time. But right now, we are faced day to day, every moment, every minute, to find ways to fill the time, find ways to find joy, find ways to keep ourselves sane. And that can be a challenge sometimes, but I want us to know that God is still in control, that God is our God, and this is a time for us to be still and to know that God is our God, that God is our parent, that God cares for us deeply, even when it looks like everything that we knew, that we put our assurance in, that we put our trust in, has gone away. The systems that we expected to keep us safe are kind of disappearing, and we're left to our own devices. We are not alone because God is still with us. One of the biggest challenges right now, and I think one of the things that's creeping up, is this loss of control. We're used to being able to control our own destiny. We're raised as young children to take more and more control, to take more and more responsibility. That the blessings in our life and also the challenges in our life are things that we can overcome, things that we can engage with, that we can fight back, and that we can conquer and create victory in our own lives. But right now, for many of us, that control has gone away, and that's scary. And that's unnerving. That's challenging to a lot of us, myself included. I want to know how I'm going to make my next bill paid. I want to know how I'm going to make my next job, how I'm going to provide for my family. I want to know these things, and I want to be in control. I want to be able to feel like I'm making a choice right now. But this is our challenge. We've given up control. We're in a place where one of our best advice is how we can save the world is to stay in our homes right now. Right? I mean, some people are excited about this. They said, well, when did you ever think that we'd be told the best way to save lives is to stay at home and watch Netflix, right? So it could be exciting for you, but for a lot of us it is a challenge, right? To sit at home, to do nothing, to just be in our home, to just be in one space, to just be with the people that God has put in our lives. That's where we're forced to be right now, and this is a challenge. And it reminds me of a time when I was young. I was thinking about this. I was going down the playground recently, and going down those tube slides, right? You know, those tube slides. And I remember as a kid, I'd go down those tubes in a train, right? Everybody would line up and we'd be cruising down. And then the kid at the bottom would just decide to stop. You know, he'd put his feet down and keep himself still. And then the kid behind me wouldn't move. And I just remember this feeling, at least one time, it might have happened more than once, of me losing it. Right? I had no control. I couldn't get this kid to move. I couldn't get that kid to move. I felt stuck and trapped. And although I wasn't going to be trapped forever, something inside of me just kind of snapped, right? And I started pushing and kicking. Get out of here, get out of here. I need to get out. And that's what we feel right now. This sense of trapped. Even in our homes, we feel like we're stuck because I can't just choose to go to the movie right now. I can't choose to go to the restaurant. I can't just escape like I'm used to. So that loss of control is a challenge for a lot of us. There's a speech that I've been reading recently, though, that's given me encouragement. It's from Reverend Moon, and it's called Challenge and Victory. And he shared a lot of insights in how we can overcome different challenges. One quote said, "How to digest and conquer your environment is the question. Don't ever try to escape from life." Ooh. You know, escapism has been something a lot of us have used to cope with life, with the challenges, with the people that we haven't been able to overcome, relationships. We haven't been able to forgive someone. We haven't been able to fully love someone in our life. And so escaping is something that we've used oftentimes in order to overcome these challenges. But feel challenged and persevere on your way. On an uneven road, ups and downs are to be expected. But where there are peaks, there are also valleys. When you find yourself in the dungeon, as some of you may have coined your home right now, you must expect that at the next moment, God will bless you with the most grace. So even though there's challenges right now, even though sometimes we might feel confined, we feel loss of control, we need to know that this change, this up and down, this movement in our life is inevitable. This is something that we should be expecting, and each time it changes, we have to readjust. We have to change the way we've been living our life, change the way that we've been digesting different circumstances. And so that's the time period we're in today. That's where we're at right now. So change is something inevitable, but we're still never quite ready, right? We're still never ready for what it's going to take. We're very comfortable in our routines, right? That's why they're called habits. They're things that have become so second nature to us, we don't even have to think about it, right? Someone that's developed healthy habits of eating, it's not even something they need to think about. They eat good food, and when they eat bad food, it triggers them. It doesn't feel comfortable. It doesn't feel natural, right? You get into a healthy lifestyle and you're running every day, it's something that you don't even have to think about. Creating that habit is a challenge, but once it's a habit, it's part of our life. But now suddenly a lot of these habits we're not able to engage in. A lot of these lifestyle choices we've made are no longer an option for us, and we're being forced to recreate what's normal, what we're going to live like, how we're going to live. This change is inevitable, but it doesn't make it any easier. Again, in that same sermon, it said, it's natural that there must be change. But are you not inclined to stay the same age? You are afraid that by changing, you'll somehow decline. You know, somehow you'll lose. If you change what you've become accustomed to, what things have gotten you through in the past, what things that are giving you security will fall apart. You know from experience, though, that you can't always go up. Upward momentum, sometimes you have to dip down again in order to go back up. And so these changes are going to come. But again, knowing that doesn't necessarily make it easier, but it is good to expect it. And it's through these changes, it's through these challenges, it's through this change in environment that God is transforming us, is reshaping us, is recreating us, is helping us to grow into the people that He's always seen us to be. God looks at you and goes, son, daughter, I see you as this great child. I see you as a very loving, forgiving, kind, generous person. And you might not have those characteristics right now, but throughout your life, you're going to go through ups and downs. And through these challenges, through these environmental changes, you're going to adapt, you're going to grow, you're going to learn. And as you engage in these changes, as you engage yourself into this, throw yourself into these new challenges, God is going to be reshaping you from the inside out. But we need to trust God. God has gotten us through so many storms in our life. If you look back, it's countless times, right? That you thought you didn't have the next day planned. You didn't have a way out of this challenge. You didn't have a way out of a financial difficulty. You didn't have a way that you were going to get over a heartbreak, the loss of someone you loved. But somehow through the storm, God has guided us and given us direction. Some of you might be in that challenge right now, in that storm, and wondering where God is. But we need to trust that God will guide us through this storm, just like every other storm, that God will be with us, that where there's a will, there is a way, especially if it's the will of God. God will get us through this to navigate through these challenges. In Psalm 46, it teaches us that God is our refuge, our strength, an ever-present help in trouble. That even through this time, God is everlasting. God is always present. God is always there, waiting for you to reach out, waiting for you to call out, waiting for you to say, God, I need you now. And when God hears that desperation in his child's voice, he can't help but reach out to you, to connect with you, to say, child, look up. Child, I'm here. Let's walk through this together. And walking through it doesn't mean that the obstacles will fade away, but God will help you through that obstacle. God will guide you through that challenge, that you can take that next step. Again, in Challenge and Victory, it says, try to focus on today, on this very moment. What can I do today? Who can I love today? Where am I going to invest my energy today? And if you are a victor in your heart right now, you will be victors after going through the entire course. You know, each day is building up the story of your life. Each day we decide, are we going to have a victorious life? Are we going to have a love-filled life? Are we going to have a joy-filled life? And it doesn't mean that every day is going to be happy, but I'm going to decide today that I'm going to face my challenges head on. I'm going to face these difficulties. And I'm going to choose that even though the world is pushing me back, even though things are challenging me, I'm going to move forward. I'm going to keep making an effort to overcome. So right now, I want to encourage you 3 things. Everything that you've known and grown comfortable with is gone, honestly, right? The things that we have been made comfortable with are changed. The choice to just freely drive around, the choice to just go to the beach, the choice to go and see a concert, right? We don't have these choices right now. Even many of us are not able to go to work. Some are working from home, thank God, but some of us just aren't working. Things that we've relied on are gone. But I don't want us to think about those things. I want us to take stock of what matters in our life. We might not have a stockpile of toilet paper right now, but let's take stock of what we do have in our life, right? We've got our family. Think about the people in your household right now. The people that have been with you through thick and thin, the people that have been encouraging, believing in you, loving you. You have your family. The people God has put in your life. Sometimes they've been a challenge. Sometimes they have been the biggest obstacle in your life. But they are your family, and God has put them in your life for a reason. Maybe this is the time to reconnect. Maybe this is the time to give them the love that they deserve. Or the forgiveness. Maybe that they don't deserve, but you want to heal that relationship. This is the time to take stock of what matters in life. If your job, if your employment, if your recreation, if your hobbies, if they were all taken away, what would still matter to you? Think about that. What kind of hobbies are very important to you that you can keep doing? What are the dreams that are unfulfilled that you still want to fulfill? Think about the people sitting in your home right now, sitting at the couch with you, or in the other room playing a game. Think about what they mean to you in your life and how you can invest in them, how you can give them your love. Take time to just think about what matters in your life. What people you could reach out to that you've been too busy to reach out to. What books you've been meaning to read. What skill you've been meaning to learn. What is it that matters to you? Take time to think about, with all of it stripped away, what truly matters. Also, we have this incredible quiet time. Last week, I was sharing with our community about how we have people we want to invest in, or we have a dream that we feel really called to, but at the same time, there's 7,000 other things pulling at us for our attention, right? There's advertisements, there's something we need to buy, there's something we need to do, there's a meeting we need to go to, there's someone that has an urgent request of our time, of our energy. And it keeps pulling us away from the things that matter, right? But right now, we're in this quiet zone. We're in this time of silence, right? Cars aren't driving around as much, and there's not all that noise, not all that buzz, not all those meetings we have to get to, not all those times we need to get dressed in the morning, get the kids out the door right away. We have time now. So in this quiet, let's cultivate that relationship with God. You know, that relationship that you really wanted to have. That spiritual life that you've been eager to start one day, one time, when you have some time. When it's not so noisy, when it's not so busy. Well, guess what? Now we have that time. Now we have that quiet. Now we have that space. If there's ever a time we needed God more than ever, it's right now, right? And we also have the time to cultivate that relationship, to quiet ourselves from the noise, to remove ourselves, to meditate on His Word. To get really quiet and just listen. What is God speaking into my life? To open up our voice and say, God, this is where I am right now. It's okay. You can cry out to God. You can yell at God. You can do whatever you want. God is your parent. God wants to hear from you. Know you. Invest in you. So this is the time. Use this quiet time to start developing your own spiritual life. A time for reading the scriptures. A time for praying in the morning, in the afternoon, in the evening, and at night. We've got all the time in the world now, right? Take a moment to meditate, to just quiet all the noise, even your own voice. Listen to what God is teaching you. And this is also a time to reconnect again with your family members. In this quiet, as we're not busy with work and sports and activities and entertainment, it might seem like a challenge to communicate with your young children and to hear their 20-minute story that really goes nowhere. But it's a time when you have the time to listen, connect. Let them feel that you truly love them and care and respect them. You'll be amazed at what starts to unfold in your family as you take that time to really be present, to really be there for them and with them. And then finally, I want to encourage you to dream of a life going forward. Right now, we've essentially got a reset button, right? Everything was moving at breakneck speeds. And I know for me, and maybe many of you, you've just said, I just want to hit the pause button for a minute on my life and think about where I'm going. What am I doing? You know, my circumstances may have been dictating my direction, maybe a job that I just kind of got stuck in and moving forward in, and I just don't know if I really want to do that for the rest of my life. Maybe you've been single and you've been thinking, you know, I should really prepare myself for marriage. Maybe you've been married and you've been thinking, I should really get to know my spouse a little better. Maybe I should spend some more time with my wife. Maybe you've got kids around, right? And you want to make their dreams come true. Maybe there's a new career, a new skill, a new hobby you want to invest in. Take this time to dream. Dream of the future. Dream of what God can do in your life. Imagine, with everything removed, if you could choose the direction of your life, what would you choose? How would you take tomorrow's step? When this world starts again, right? When everything moves again at its breakneck speed as we look for the next thing to consume, the next thing to buy, the next thing to engage in, the next activity, right? What is it that you want to invest yourself into? In the life of faith, we must not fix our glance only on what is happening at the moment, but look off into the future towards where God is hailing us. Right? God is calling us forward. God is calling us to grow. God is calling us to add new things into our life, to remove certain things from our life. This is a time for us to dream dreams, brothers and sisters. This is a time to get creative, to think about our future, to think about that dream that you've always wanted to achieve, that thing you always wanted to invest in. And use this time to invest in it. Use that time to believe in it. Use this time to prepare for that next step. And I just want to finish with this verse from Paul. Paul was a missionary, a church planter. He was building relationships with people from all over the world so that they could know God the way that he knew God. He had a burning desire to share that relationship with other people. And there was nothing he was more passionate about than to go out and meet someone new, to share about the gospel, to share about the good news, to share about what happened in his life. And almost nothing would stop him until the Romans decided to put him in jail, right? All right, stop all this nonsense, Paul. You're going a little bit crazy. We're going to hold you back right now. And so I just wanted to read this little letter from him, this part of one of his letters to the Philippians, as he's sitting in prison, as his heart is longing to reach out to that sick brother, to reach out to that new convert, to reach out to that church leader over here, as he wants to visit them, but he's stuck in a jail. He's homebound, right? He has to shelter in place, as it were. So this is what he says. Rejoice in the Lord always. Again, I will say, rejoice. Let your gentleness be evident to all. The Lord is near. Do not be anxious about anything, but in every situation, by prayer and petition with thanksgiving, present your requests to God. And peace of God, which transcends all understanding, will guard your hearts and your minds in Christ Jesus. And finally, brothers and sisters, whatever is true, whatever is noble, whatever is right, whatever is pure, whatever is lovely, whatever is admirable, if anything is excellent and praiseworthy, think about such things. Think about the beauty of life. Think about the wonders that God has blessed you with. Think about the people that matter. Think about the experiences that have transformed your life. Think about the blessings you have been given. Whatever you have learned or received or heard from me or seen in me, put it into practice. And the God of peace will be with you. Brothers and sisters, let us take this time to rejoice. Let us rejoice even though it seems challenging, even though it's been difficult. Let us thank God for the opportunities to slow down. Let's look at this as a chance to restart our life, to refocus on the relationship that we have with God, to take that moment in the morning to wake up and say, God, thank you that I'm alive today. How can you use me to reach out to others? How can you use me to touch someone's life today? What word can I speak today that can be an encouragement to somebody else? God, how can I be transformational right now? This is a time for us to restart, to reconnect, to recommit, and to make this a world of true love and create here a place that we can call home. So, brothers and sisters, I just thank you for being with me today. And I pray that this can be an encouragement to you. And I just want to ask that we join in a moment of prayer. Dear God, our loving Heavenly Parent, God, the creator of time, the creator of space, my creator, the creator of my family, God, you have put all this stuff into motion. All things receive their light from you. God, I pray that we can take strength in knowing that you will continue to be with us even in this time of challenge. God, we have family, we have friends that are struggling right now. We know people that are sick right now. We know that this virus is continuing to spread right now. And outside of this sickness, God, some of our friends, some of our family, people we know, people that we don't know, are being affected economically, are losing jobs. Maybe they might lose their home. There's fear. God, and people need you more than ever, God. And I pray that this time of worship, that we can bring you down here onto earth, God, that we can receive this time so that we can be a blessing, a shining light upon a hill that can bring other people to you to find strength and courage in you, God. Please use this worship and our attendance to you as a way to convey your love unto this world. God, we need you now. We ask that your Spirit can fill our hearts, that we can take courage in you. God, we can take this as a time to invest and really love the ones in our life and lift them up to you. God, let us be a blessing unto those that are sick, those that are worried. Let us be an encouragement to this world. God, we want to offer this time to you with gratitude, with thanksgiving. We want to rejoice in you always and find, even in the challenging moments, the light of your love. And if we can always find this, even in the worst of times, even in the challenges, God, we know that our life can be filled with a bright light of hope, of truth, of love, of joy every moment of our life, God. And we thank you for that. We thank you for that. We offer this time to you, this prayer, this worship to you. And I pray this in all of our names gathered here around the world. And in your holy name, God. Amen. And I'll choose. Amen. Thank you so much, brothers and sisters. We're so honored to be with you today and just to have this time to share with you. And I know that also your presence is stimulating me and encouraging me. So I want to thank you for being here. And I want to thank God for allowing us to be here, to have this opportunity to connect beyond our physical shelters, our physical places. We are able to be connected as brothers and sisters.
Yeah, we just thank you so much for being a part of this moment together with us today. Thank you, Jario, and we thank God, right, for this word today. Just a reminder of what an opportunity, even though it's so hard and so challenging, it is an opportunity to think about our dreams and how we want our life to be and kind of have a reset, right? So yeah, thanks y'all for being here. We'll pray for you. Please message us if there's anything you need, any prayer requests. We'd love to continue to be a part of your journey and be there for you in any way that we can. It's really great seeing how community just comes together in times like this, right? So we thank you. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram. We'll upload these to YouTube as well, Gather Family Church. Feel free to share, donate if you like, or give your tithing on gatherfamilychurch.com. We just thank you again for being with us today.
And thank you so much. And I know this time might be challenging, but we really are here for you. And there's people all around the world that are praying for one another. And so let us believe in the goodness of people, that through this, that our true diamonds or true beauty will shine through all of this, and that this world will come out on top. So thank you so much for being part of us, and we just wish you a wonderful week. Next week, we're going to be continuing to share. I think we're going to be sharing about being stuck together as a family, and we just hope that each week we can encourage you and just thank you for being a part of this. We wish you nothing but love and blessings from us and our family to you, and God bless you all. See you next week.
Thanks.
Bye. Thank you.
That's a wrap.